Alright, so today is Fanday Friday, and today I've decided to talk about Supernatural. I'm going to do a quick run through of like the three main characters of Supernatural, and hopefully I worked really hard in writing today's vlog to not give away any plot points, so yeah, hopefully it works out. I learned today that the editing software I have does not have a way to overlay photos, so I have my handy-dandy iPad to be able to hold up photos, so if you don't watch Supernatural, you can know who I'm talking about if you ever see pictures of it. So I went from so there's three main protagonists, and I'm counting up to my favorite character, which when you get there you'll know who it is, but I'm counting from my least favorite protagonist to my most favorite. It's not that it's my least favorite, least favorite is the best way of putting it, because it's not that I don't like them, but I don't like them as much as I like the other characters, if that makes any sense. So I started, my first one, so number 3 is Sam, who is the younger brother of Dean, and he's well known for this like puppy dog type face, if you can see. And he starts out the series pretty reluctant to be a hunter, and he's Stanford educated, which you find out in like the first episode. And he dies a lot. He kind of goes along with what Dean has to say, which we'll talk about in a minute. And yeah, I don't know why I don't like Sam all that much, but he just seems to rub me the wrong way. My next character that I'm going to talk about, as my iPad like freaks out, is I'm going to talk about Dean next, who is the older brother of Sam, which is really interesting because he and Sam have a really interesting type of relationship, and he's very protective of Sam, and he may not show it all the time, but there's a lot of scenes that he does show it, and they're actually really touching to me, because it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, sometimes he just doesn't really show it, and then sometimes he does, and you're like, oh. The one word I can come up with if I had to describe him in one word, it would be badass, because he just like breaks things and kind of owns people, so he's probably my favorite characters. Actually not in this picture, but he has a trademark leather jacket that he wears, because you know women, they love leather. And he's the closest thing that the show has to a womanizer. And so he's usually shown drinking at least once in an episode. One would say that he's kind of hot also. That could also be a contributing factor to him being my second one. And like Sam, he also dies a lot. My third character that I'm going to talk about, which if you watch the show, you've probably figured it out as I do all my scrolling. My favorite character is Cass, which is who is pictured talking to a cat in this picture. He's not really a protagonist. He was introduced in the 4th season, but he's consistently been around since then. He wears the same outfit all the time, which isn't the most shown in this picture. But he wears this light-colored trench coat, and he wears a basic suit underneath with a blue tie. And he hasn't been in the last 2 episodes, so I'm kind of going through awkward Cass withdrawal, because the best way I would describe Cass's character is awkwardly adorable, if that makes any sense. The closest person I can come up with is he's kind of like the 11th Doctor in his like awkward and quirkiness, except he has a lot less social skills, so like I can't really, I mean, like in this episode he's interrogating a cat, so you know, that might tell you something about him. But he isn't around all the time, which is kind of a bummer, because I really like him and he's really funny. But unlike Sam and Dean, he does not die a lot, but even though he's not around all the time. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of an introduction to Supernatural. I really like Supernatural because it's really fun, because they kind of go to different places around the country, even though it's all filmed in Vancouver, Canada, and which is, you know, not all that far from where I am, like 8 hours or whatever, but, you know, they try to show different places around the country, and, you know, different things happen through every single season. They're, like, sometimes, like, it starts out kind of episodic, where it kind of goes episode by episode, but there's a little bit of an overarching story. And then there are some seasons where it's just like all story arc, and you have to kind of like watch all the way through. And then there's kind of like, there'll be ones that'll be episodic, but they also relate to the story. But I really like Supernatural. It's on Netflix if you have Netflix. Yeah. So, in other news, I'm over 300 views, and I have like almost 330 right now. I have 9 subscribers. So if you want to subscribe, you can click down here. And I may do a shout out if you start subscribing. You can comment down below to see if there's something if you want to talk about, or future Fanday Friday that I should talk about. Dwight is staring at you, so you should do it. And I hope you have a great day, and we might do something fun tomorrow. So I will see you later, and have fun doing whatever, Yeah, have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.